Okay, so 7.2 is arithmetic sequences. This is a totally different kind of sequence than we've dealt with the last 5 days in 7.1. It's a very specific kind, and arithmetic in particular says that it has a common difference between terms. Okay, so a common difference is basically saying you're going up by the same amount every single time, or you're going down by the same amount every single time. So I'm going to show you 2 quick examples of really obvious ones. The first one, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, repeating. Am I going down by the same amount every time? Yes. You just, hey. We go down by 1 every single time, right? So that would be an arithmetic sequence. Okay, second one, if we went 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, is that an arithmetic sequence? Yeah, super easy. We go up by 2 every time, okay? These are 2 super quick, easy examples of it. It will not always be that quick and easy. You might go from a negative number to a positive number. It might be a fraction and you go down by 1/2 or 1/3 every time. I'll show you how to do an easy way of calculating that and making sure it is a common difference, but these are super obvious ones. So what about the next 2? I want you to calculate these on your own. So -4, 1, 6, 11, 16, or what was the other one I wanted to do?
5. Oh, that's easy.
The other one I wanted to do, 3, 5, 9, 15, 23. Okay, so at first glance, you might be able to say like, this is arithmetic, it's not arithmetic. I want to show you really quick how you can determine whether or not it is with like an actual formula. So if you would want to do it this way, you would want to go 1 term in and subtract the beginning term. So I go to term number 2, or a sub 2, and subtract it from the term beforehand, which is a sub 1, to find that common difference. So taking 1 minus -4 to see, well, what is my common difference there? 1 minus -4 is adding, so it's positive 5. I'm showing you how to do it if it's a more complex one.
Oh, okay, well, like.
Yeah, if you know it, like, you're fine. If you can tell me, yeah, it's 5 every time, then that's fine. But if in one that's like a fraction, or maybe it's harder numbers, it'd be helpful to have this.
There's the common difference.
Good.
It's gonna be the same thing every time.
Yes,
So like
yes.
these wouldn't be that because
Good.
it goes to
Very good, very good, very good. If I wanted to keep going with this, I would go into term number 3 and subtract from term number 2, which would be 6 minus 1, which would again be 5. If I took term 4 minus term 3, what would that be? 11 minus 6, which is 5. Lastly, 16 minus 11 is 5, right? So here, is this arithmetic?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, arithmetic.
Dude, I get one of my dad.
But also, that is awesome. Also, our D value or our common difference. D notates what the common difference is.
5.
Well, yeah, 5 would be our D value here, right? Because we go up by 5 every time. It's a positive 5 because we increase. Okay?
So we decrease it, it has to be negative, right?
Very good, very good.
What
Okay,
if there's
so-
2 negatives on there, like, -4, -9, -14.
So you're still subtracting, so just be a negative D.
Miss Reynolds.
Yep.
I was thinking multiplication.
So with B, I also noticed this. You're adding 2 more than the previous number.
Good, so we're gonna talk about that one real quick. Okay,
Yeah, I know.
so with B, is there a common difference?
No. No.
Okay, from 2, or from 1 to 2, you
yeah.
added.
You added 2, and then you added 4, and then you added 6, and then 8.
Is there a pattern to how you're adding them?
Yeah.
But is it common?
No.
Okay, those are two different things. There's a pattern, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
Yeah.
But this number has to be the same every time, which it's not.
Oh.
There's a pattern, but it's not arithmetic because it's not the same
Technically,
number.
they're all evens, so.
They're all evens, but they're not the same number. So no,
Oh.
not arithmetic.
So if it's arithmetic, it has to add the same number
Yep,
every
the same
time.
number every time.
Oh.
Very good. All right, have you guys? Did you need that? Liv's got ya. All right,
Wait, let me draw.
so let's bring this one back up again without.
That's 2D. No, that's you.
Okay, let's bring this one back up again. Where am I going with that? There's a new problem I want you to try with this one.
No.
Okay, so we are able to actually write a rule for arithmetic sequences without having to be creative on our own. So notice the last couple of days in 7.1, you had to create this rule all on your own
Oh.
without like a specific formula or anything. Guys, stop. So a specific formula for this one would be a sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. So there's two things that you need to know here. The first one is a sub 1. The second one is your d value. So if we use the sequence that we just got done talking about, this a value, we know it's arithmetic, right? You already proved that to me. What was your difference? 5, good. What's a sub 1 mean about this sequence? Good, it's the first term in the sequence. A sub 1, first term, so a sub 1 would be -4. Those are the only two things you have to know. Common difference, first term, and obviously that's arithmetic. You can only use this formula if it is an arithmetic sequence, okay? So if we were to write this really quick, I would take a sub n equals -4, because I put a sub 1 in for this a sub 1 in here, plus nothing goes in for n, because when you remember, when you write a rule, you want to keep an n value in there, right? That's what makes this a rule for it. -1 times 5, because 5 is my d. Is this super simplified? Not exactly.
No.
What can I do with this 5?
Distribute it.
Good. We'll probably distribute that to give me a sub n equals -4 plus n times 5. Good. -1 times 5. All right. Is this super simplified?
No, because you can get the 5 forward.
Like terms. Very good. -4 and -5 are like terms. Add those up.
You get negative.
Good. So now this is a rule that you didn't have to self-create. You had more of a process with it. So I think 7.1 is tough because you have to make that rule completely on your own. This one gives you a nice process of find your first term, find your d value, and then just kind of plug and chug. If I asked you what my 210th term is, could you figure that out based on this rule?
Yes.
You plug 210 in for? Very good. All right, I want you guys to try the next one. And there's two things I want you to do. I want you to first, and I'll write this off to the side. Write the rule and find a sub 15. Okay, so the sequence is 60, 52, 44, and 36. So yeah, you have to first write the rule. In order to write the rule, you're gonna need, God, why does that keep happening? An a sub 1 and a d value. Okay, so obviously to write this rule as an arithmetic sequence, you have to make sure it's an arithmetic sequence. You'll do that when you find your d value. Find d, find a sub 1, write the rule. And we'll go over that in just a second. If you're super ahead, go ahead and find a sub 15.
So we were to find a sub 15, one would be the 15th and one the sequence.
Yes, good. So what you would want to do is use your rule and by plugging 15 in for your n in here to find a sub 15. You don't want to actually count down to it. You want to plot that 15 into your n value.
So we use the formula, so
Yes.
4 plus, but we put 16.
Good, very good, very good. Yeah, absolutely. It's okay, you got his steps in.
Guess what, you good? You know, back off where it fell off.
Oh no, how
Yeah,
loud are you now?
It fell off. So I went underneath of it and hit it with a hammer. It fell off. Yeah. Pretty crazy.
It's like I can't even remember what I did because it was such a long weekend.
Oh, I know. It's,
No,
yeah.
you don't check this.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
It's
it's
Crazy.
So, what? How are you
Yeah.
getting?
I don't even know what happened. It's kind of
So I have.
unscrewed a couple things and then we cleaned it up.
How do you get from 60 to 52 into
I'm not guaranteed on each three.
okay,
Pretty sure that's it. Wait, what's
so
it
you're
tomorrow?
going down.
Yeah, tomorrow.
So your Stevie would be a negative.
No, pretty for sure. I'm not 100% about
Or is
how
that
to
just
do
it? So that's how you get these numbers. So
Make
your
sure
first
you're
term.
in practice.
Yes, I'm saying. I didn't know what. I'm sure ask my mom, but she's
Good, well, that's your ace of one.
Jade.
Two terms and
And-
plug them in to.
You too.
Yeah, this thing right here.
No, Brady said no.
What gives me your chat? I ain't trying to get your chat.
Anthony?
Anthony, oh, Emmett,
So.
Emmett, Gabe, you, Houston. Sometimes it's hard to find, you know? Is that Ed?
Dude, my mom and dad are in a fight right now. I think it's really funny. Huh? Okay, so I'm like, alright, so my dad's supposed to claim me on my taxes, my mom's supposed to claim my brother on my taxes, right? So my mom decided to claim both on my taxes, right? So then my dad filed a false claim because he called me on my taxes, right? So then my dad has to pay like money that he's not getting money, and so my dad's mad at my mom. So my dad's not paying my mom's child support until he gets that money back. So then my mom got mad at him, so now they're like going to court and stuff, so it's interesting. Great time. It's really funny.
Okay.
If they go to court, you have to go to 1%.
My mom, or my dad.
Why do you get this surprise?
Huh?
Why do you get this surprise?
It's like, my mom's annoying, dude. She's like, my mom won't let me have fun too many times. It's annoying. If I hang out with someone, like, or, go to gym and stuff, right? I hang out with gym.
My dad won't let me go anywhere.
Then I can't go hang out with Nick, like the next day, because I hung out with him.
Okay, so what is your a sub 1 in this sequence? 60. It's just your first term.
Is it always your first term?
Yes, a sub 1 will always do that first term, and we'll always use the first term for that. So then, by what?
Right, so I can put that also stuff in.
I honestly have no idea.
Honestly, I'll try to use this.
Honestly, I don't have no idea.
Yeah, that's fine. So then, from 60 to 52, what did you add or subtract?
Minus 8.
Minus 8. 52 to 44,
Minus 8.
44 to 36.
Minus 8.
So is this a positive 8?
No, negative.
Negative 8, right? We have to notate, are you adding or are you subtracting? If you're subtracting and going down, it needs to be a negative. So if I fill this in, a sub n equals 60 plus n minus 1 times negative 8. Distribute this to get 60 minus n times negative 8, negative 8n, negative 1 times negative 8 is positive 8. So your rule would have been 68 minus 8n. How many guys get? What did I say? How many of you guys get that? Very good. To find a sub 15 then, or the 15th term, what do I have to do with 15?
You plug it into the end.
There we go. Plug it into the end, and that's how you multiply by -8. So 68 minus 120.
That sounds like.
It is, but we're finding.
You gotta count all the way
Exactly.
down to negative.
And if this was like 200, then yes, you would not rather do that. So -52 would have been your 15th term. Questions? Is this kind of okay?
This isn't hard.
Is it better than 7.1?
Yeah.
What was 7.1?
You had to write
Okay,
the series
yeah.
on your own. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Let me do one more thing with you guys.
We should go back to the last unit, but like not do the super project.
Not do the what?
The super
project.
Oh.
We still haven't started.
The project?
You haven't even.
Jackson, we knew this was gonna
Foxy,
happen.
you should not say
I
that.
think we all
Oh,
called
is she
it.
gonna put it in the ebook and?
Yeah, which is she will right now.
Well, I was putting it
She
in
literally
tonight, so.
gave us time in class and you
It should
didn't
be,
do
yeah,
it.
if it's not.
And we literally were off Saturday, Sunday, Monday,
Yes.
Tuesday.
There was 4
Yeah,
in-class days to do that project. You
It's
got
5 days there, Jack.
Oh my gosh, Jackson. it. Okay, so
You said that and stuff.
last thing.
What were you even doing?
What are you doing right now? Playing on the song?
Do you have scissors?
Yeah.
20 on my phone.
Got a big string from my shirt.
Okay, so given the following, I want you to write the general rule.
Is this gonna match the other one?
It'll be super close to it, okay? So, Another note should be that this is an arithmetic sequence, so you can write the general rule as if it's an arithmetic sequence. So your A sub 19 and your D value will be given. A sub 19 equals 48 and D equals 3. Okay, so how am I going to fill out this A sub n equals A sub 1 plus n minus 1 times D, okay? What things do I know? Do I know my first term? Okay, don't know that. Do I know my D value? Okay, I know that's gonna be 3. What is this, guys? What does A sub 19 give me?
The 1950, so that'd be your end.
Very good, okay? So this is A sub n, so if I put A sub 19 in here, what does that actually equal to, like numerically? Good, so you can replace this with 48, right?
And then-
Okay, what's my n value in here?
Or no, 19.
19, my 19th term is
And
my
then
n.
it just be fucking trouble.
Oh, so now the only variable left is, good. So we have 48 equals A sub 1 plus 19 minus 1 times 3. Can you solve for A sub 1 for me?
Yeah.
Do that now, okay? Solve for A sub 1. So you need to do parentheses first, then multiply, then get everything away from that A sub 1. We're trying to find the first term because I need the first term to write this rule.
Dude, that's so funny. So like on my AirPods, like I have it where like when I get a text, it like reads it out to me. And it was like what I just doing to LOL and then like the laughing emoji, like laughing and crying face emoji.
Yeah,
You should ride my bus.
They're like old now.
I just like remember them like fourth grade. They were like,
Yeah, you can start here. I don't know why they got my book with those in them. I never put my starters in. It's just like four guard. It's, yeah, it's stupid. But they want you to put your starters there in some of these books. I'm like, that's ridiculous, because that's just, now they're all out of order. So I never do it. Okay, so you should have got 48 equals a sub 1 plus 18 times 3, which would be 48 equals a sub 1.
Where did the 18 come from?
19 minus 1.
Okay.
Okay, and then plus 54, good. Good, it took me a second. I'm a little rusty on my math right now. So a sub 1 equals -6. Are you done?
Yeah, yeah.
Do I have a rule? Do I have an a sub n?
For what? Yeah.
Did I write my rule? Like, could I go plug something into here and figure out my
Wait, what did it be, you multiply 3?
do I have my rule that I can write a 200 term for?
Yes, because your a sub n is now -6, so you could plug that in. You put your n, and so it'd be -6 plus parentheses n minus 1.
Good,
N parentheses.
good. So you're saying I'm not totally done yet, right?
No,
I
you
still
have
have
to
to
be
go
right.
back up to here,
Yeah.
okay? So
you-
now that I do know my a sub 1, and I still know my d value, I can use this to write that rule again.
Right.
So we added on one additional step. Now we're back to where we were last time, and I say, okay, my a sub 1 is -6, put that in. My n value is gonna stay n minus 1, and my d value is 3.
Yeah.
So now I can kind of finish this out and write my rule being -6 plus 3n minus 3. So -9 plus 3n would be the actual rule for that sequence.
Have you seen combo charger? I lost it.
I have not.
Is that it? Are we done?
That is, yeah, that's it.
Dang, because I can't find it anywhere.
Is this okay?
Yeah.
Not bad, right? Okay, tomorrow we're gonna do a worksheet over all the things we did today.
I said practice, not work.
Well, no, that's what I mean. Like, we're gonna practice it more.